Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Christmas has always been my favorite time of the year. I know it's also a time of year that can be kind of overwhelming, and so our hope for this evening was to just kind of slow down for a moment and engage the story and allow it to do its work in us. When I had the opportunity to make a Christmas record, I'd wanted to for years and years, and when I finally had a chance to, and I sat down to work on it, I was like, oh man, I was kind of intimidated by it. And I was just thinking of, how much Christmas music is out there. There's so much out there. And I thought, Jason, why add another Christmas record to the pain of the world? And so I knew that if I was going to do it, I had to do it in a way that I could really be passionate about and really mean it. And so I decided to share an experience with you that I have each year. Every year I take down a book from the shelf by an author named Frederick Buechner, who has this way of... he writes about the characters in the Bible that we think we know, but because we've seen them up on the flannel board so many times and heard every punchline about them in sermon illustrations, we've lost touch with them as real human beings. And Buechner's conviction about himself when he wrote his autobiography was that he believed that if he told his story, if anybody tells their story as humanly and honestly as they know how, then the other people who hear it will be like, me too. I've had that experience. Those are my hopes and dreams too. I'm not alone, And so my hope was to write a Christmas album about, to write songs about each of the characters from the Christmas narrative and tell their story hopefully in a way that was, as humanly and honestly as I knew how, so that when people heard it, they might be like, me too. And if that happened, they might find themselves inside the Christmas story, and they might take it personally and realize that it was meant for them, So, to start things out, I want to share one of the stories by Buechner that inspired this next song. So yes, the guy with the speech handicap is going to now read from a book. Yeah. It's like 8th grade English oral report class all over again. So. Here we go. Oh, no, I just lost my page. That was a long, long time ago, said the Innkeeper. And a long, long way away. But the memories of men are also long, and nobody has forgotten anything about my own sad, strange part in it all, unless maybe they have forgotten the truth about it. But you never can blame people for forgetting the truth, because it is, after all, such an evasive commodity. In fact, all that distinguishes a truth from a lie may finally be no more than just the flutter of an eyelid or the tone of a voice. If I were to say, I believe, that would be a lie. But if I were to say, I believe, well, that might be the truth. So I do not blame posterity for forgetting the subtleties and making me out to be the black villain of the piece, the heartless one who said, no room, no room. I'll even grant you that a kind of villainy may be a part of the truth. But if you want to speak the whole truth, then you will have to call me a villain with a catch in your voice, at least a tremor, a hesitation maybe, with even the glitter of a tear in your eye. Because nothing is entirely black, not even the human heart. I speak to you as men and women of the world, not as idealists, but as realists. Do you know what it is like to run an inn? To run a business, a family, to run anything in this world for that matter, even your own life? It is like being lost in a forest of 1,000,000 trees. And each tree is a thing that must be done. Are there fresh sheets on the beds? Did the children put their coats on before they went out? Has the note been written, the book read? Is there money enough left in the bank? Today we have food in our bellies and clothes on our backs, but what can we do to make sure that we will have them still tomorrow? A million trees, a million things demand to be done. Until finally we don't have eyes for anything else, and whatever we see turns into a thing. The sparrow lying in the dust at your feet, just a thing to be kicked out of the way, not the mystery of death. The calling of children outside your window, just a distraction, not life, not the wildest miracle of them all. The whispering in the air that comes sudden and soft from nowhere, only the wind, only the wind. Of course, I remember very well the evening they arrived. I was working on my accounts and I looked up just in time to see the woman walking through the door. She walked in that slow, heavy-footed way that women have in the last months, as though they are walking in a dream or at the bottom of the sea. Her husband stood a little behind her, a tongue-tied, helpless kind of man, I thought. I cannot remember either of them saying anything, although I suppose some words must have passed, but at least it was mostly silence. The clumsy silence of the poor. It was clear enough what they wanted. The stars had come out. I remember the stars perfectly, though I don't know why I should, since I was inside. And my wife's cat jumped up onto the table where I was seated. I had not stood up to receive them. There was mainly just silence. And then it happened much in the way that you have heard. I did not lie about there being no room left. There really was none, though perhaps if there had been a room, I might have lied. As much for their sakes as for the sake of the inn. Their kind would have felt more at home in a stable, that's all. And I do not mean that unkindly either, God knows. Later that night when the baby came, I was not there. I was lost in the forest somewhere, the unenchanted forest of a million trees. 15 steps to the cellar, and watch out for your head going down. Firewood to the left. If the fire goes out, the heart freezes. Only the wind, only the wind. I speak to you as men and women of the world, so that when the baby came, I was not around, and I saw none of it. As for what I heard, the moment itself of birth when nobody becomes somebody, I do not rightly know what I heard. But this, I do know. My own true love. All your life long, you wait for your own true love to come. We all of us do. Our destiny, our joy, our heart's desire. So how am I to say it? When he came, I missed him. Pray for me, brothers and sisters. Pray for the innkeeper. Pray for me and for us all, my own true love. It all happened once upon a time.